just Kendrick, I would make love to him. And there's nothing he could do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him, and the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. If it's me and Kendrick, this is about physics. It's about physics. I don't even know if I'll get hard. But if we're in a cell, there's a chance that if we're in a cell and we're bored and we done tattooing each other, whatever you do in the cell, and we ran out of board games and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well fuck you. There's nothing he could physically do to stop that besides put his legs in the air and choose a position. Maybe I let him choose a position.
He said he gonna do it to him, and ain't nothing he gonna do about it, and ain't nothing nobody else gonna do about it. Kendrick Lamar and Andrew Schulz, they going at it. Supposedly it's some sort of beef because Kendrick made these statements. Don't you ever let the white comedian speak on black women, that's God. I guess apparently comedian Andrew Schulz took this to heart. He took it very, very personal. And he made some statements, and people got a little bit upset. Basically said he wanted to do it to him. He didn't say he wanted to do it to him. He said if he wanted to do it to him. In the event that he were to do it to Lil Kendrick, there'd be nothing Kendrick could do about it. He had to like it.
Kendrick said, don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. I know propaganda worked for them, and fuck whoever that's close to them. A couple months back, Andrew Schulz went viral when he had the guys from Shit and Diego podcast on, and he made a very disgusting joke towards black women.
Wait, what is the black girlfriend effect?
Oh, you don't know about this?
Glow up the other culture.
Yeah, so you'll see a guy who's had a black girlfriend, all of a sudden he's got buzz cut, like clean shape up. Glows up, bro.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
They shave their hair because they start losing it. Because they're so stressed being around this black girl complaining about shit all the fucking time. That's why they gotta shave their hair.
Nah, bro. White guys with black girlfriends, they
grow a beard because there's more cushion when they get slapped the fuck out of.
Now Kendrick.
Now that was a joke that made everybody upset. It went crazy on the internet. Black Twitter got really pissed about the joke. It was, like, oh, the worst thing he said that black women will slap a man and blah, 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 blah. The saying goes, black people are offended by everything except the conditions they live in. It's a lot of things that we need to address. Comedians' jokes, I don't think are one of them. Maybe because I'm a comedian, you know what I mean? Maybe I look at it a little bit differently. I don't know. But I just find it difficult to get upset because somebody said something in jest. Mainly when people get upset from someone saying something, it's because there's a smidgen of truth in there. Like if I came out with a joke and was like, oh, black people are astronauts, how many people would be upset? Because it's not true. It makes no sense. But if you say a joke that's based somewhat in truth, sometimes it can sting a little bit. Are you really upset at the person who told the joke? Or are you bothered by the reality that lies within the joke?
Didn't diss him in that bar. He basically told black people, hey, man, if you're sitting next to a white comedian and he's making jokes about black women, you should probably check him on that. So
I don't know if that's true, yo.
They was kind of confused when they heard Andrew Schulz's response back to Kendrick. It was a very long-winded response that really should have been just about 5 minutes. Schulz deflected, told Kendrick, hey man, you've also worked with artists that have not been kind towards black women.
Rappers are telling comedians we need to be more respectful to women, so we gotta sit back and reflect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They're the most pious group.
Listen, nobody has respected women more. Through art,
yes,
than rappers. Okay,
absolutely.
So
and that's a broad brush. That's a broad brush to put Kendrick in with everybody else who has disrespected women in rap culture. We all know that that's a common part of it. That's always been an argument and something that made people upset about hip hop. It's one thing to critique people outside of the culture, but there is a certain measure of responsibility you have to within your culture, things that you can change directly, people that you do interact with.
I really understand how a rapper could look at a comedian telling a joke and be like, yo, y'all need to switch that shit up.
Yeah.
How dare y'all keep saying your wives are annoying? Be more like us and, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. I beat my bitch with a stick. What? You can lick on the nuts or suck the dick. I beat my bitch with a stick. What?
Did you just think of that?
That's a real lyric.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that a real lyric? Where is that from? Let me know, chat.
It's a real lyric from music that protects women. And for decades, protects women. And listen.
And that's you can't just... lump Kendrick in with everybody else. But I hear your point. Point taken.
Right now, the guy on top, Kung Fu Kenny,
He is the guy on top.
He is the guy.
he is making sure that comedians, he put a law in.
Yeah.
He put a law in place. All right, let's see the exact line, okay? Don't let no white comedian talk about no black woman. That's law. He understands
It's a
it.
law.
Now I understand why he's doing a comedy with the South Park creators.
That makes
Because
sense.
he appreciates white comedians.
Is that true? Is he doing comedy with the South Park creators? Because they definitely had Token and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? They shoot at everybody. And I know little about Andrew Schulz, but from my understanding, he shoots at everybody too. As long as the bullets are equal, that's how I feel about comedy. But that's my personal opinion. Like I said, it's a little bit warped. So there we go.
Fun of black people.
There you go.
And they've done that brilliantly for decades.
Yeah, that's true.
And he would never want to, break one of his own laws.
No, that's true.
I mean, didn't they have a character called Token on the South Park show?
Yeah, they do.
Which I'm
Right,
sure Kendrick
exactly.
is a big fan of.
That's true.
He must be a big fan if he's
true.
going to do a comedy with them. I mean, we can look that up. Apparently, he has a comedy coming out.
Yeah, that's fact.
But Al, you're getting groomed right now. We need to ungroom you.
Yeah, you are getting
We need to
groomed.
ungroom you right now. Okay? I mean that, listen, because he sent people, he says slide on. What he said, slide, where's the line? Okay, the N-words that coon, the N-words that being groomed, slide on both of them. Whoa, that seems like a call to violence.
It does.
Why would he call to, if he's about protecting black people, why would the call to violence be towards the black dudes, not?
Because unfortunately, that's how we do. We always so quick to violence anyway. I think we need to kind of get that out of our culture. Just like as a response. Like when can we eliminate that as a possibility? Especially amongst one another.
Guy making the joke.
Well, you gotta understand.
What?
No. You gotta understand.
I snitch. I cooperate. I tell.
Litigation.
Okay? You go squabble up in a jail cell.
Here's what you gotta understand about Kendrick. It's very important to him to protect black women. That's why he's never done a song with an abuser confirmed. He's never done a song
thank
with
God.
anybody
Thank God.
that's
Thank God.
suspected of abuse.
Thank
He's
God.
never threatened to remove his music from Spotify
Thank
because
God.
they removed R. Kelly's music, who for sure fucked and held captive underage black women.
Hold on.
This is all very important to Kendrick.
Wait a minute, just let me understand what's going on.
And
It's a little bit more to it than that.
it starts getting dark when Show starts talking about having his way with Kendrick.
Yeah, it's a little bit more to it than that. What happened was Kendrick and them removed themselves from Spotify at one point because of the rules that were surrounding them eliminating certain artists because of whether they've been convicted or not. And the idea was like, okay, so through any accusation, you can kick someone off of your platform. And Kendrick was one of the artists that felt that that was unjust. So it was a little bit more to it.
Schulz goes on to make up a hypothetical situation where him and Kendrick will be locked up together, and he would essentially have his way with Kendrick.
But just Kendrick, I would make love to him, and there's nothing he could do about it. Just Kendrick Lamar, I would make love to him, and the only thing that he could do is decide if it's consensual or not. That's the only thing he could do. If it's me and Kendrick, this is about physics. It's about physics. I don't even know if I'll get hard. But if we're in a cell, there's a chance that if we're in a cell and we're bored and we done tattooing each other, whatever you do in the cell, and we ran out of board games and we did all the other things, we cleaned everything, and I'm like, man, I might as well fuck you. There's nothing he could physically do to stop that besides put his legs in the air and choose a position. Maybe I'll let him choose a position.
Now that's crazy. Not crazy where, like I said, we just spoke about violence. Had any black person said that, there'd be hell to pay. How much you want to bet Mr. Schulz will be fine? He's not even remotely concerned with retaliation. And that's not me advocating for anything. I'm just saying, watch how suddenly we know how to resolve conflicts. I'm not accusing Kendrick not handling conflict properly. I'm not accusing him of being a G, but I know he got people like that around him. And I know for a fact, if another rapper said it, it'd be some problems. It'd be some definite, absolute, positive problems. And I'm pretty damn sure in this situation there will not. And once again, it shows that your buttons, your lines, which you, I'll die for this, I'll do, people sliding for blocks they don't own. You understand what I mean? People going crazy on one another for stuff that minor disrespect, as long as your adversaries looks like you. But when it switches, he ain't gonna have no problem. He ain't gonna have no problem in LA, he ain't gonna have no problem in New York, he not gonna have no problem nowhere. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. But the problem with being so sensitive is everybody knows how to hurt you. We spend so much time being hurt when we could be growing and improving ourselves. But instead, we're arguing about, oh, what someone said that bothers you. Sometimes people say things you don't like. That's part of the world. I'm sure in the production of this video that I've taken the time out of my day and worked so hard to work on, somebody gonna be like, oh, this is crap. Quit. Get out of here. I'm sick of it. That's just how it goes. People have opinions. We're different. So to get super duper upset about what somebody else said, to me, is crazy, because it just shows the buttons to control you. It leaves them to someone else. It shows, hey, if I do this, if I call him that, then this is going to happen. I get a desired result from this person. It no longer puts you in control of your fate or destiny, because someone else knows what to do to make you do something else. I don't know if that's too elaborate of a concept or if anybody wants to hear it, but I'm going to go back into it in more in depth as we move on in this video. Anyway, here we go.
But